Hello, is this thing on? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, yes, amazingly enough, I am actually narrating a battle. I decided to do one, sort of like a New Year's resolution kind of thing. At least one anyway. So this may be the first and possibly the last narration I ever do. It'll depend how I feel. But anyway, this battle is an NU battle against XSquareStickIt, who, to my surprise, dropped by, left a PM and said, "Hey, why don't we have a battle?" So I went, alright then, might as well. So this is my battle with him. I do have to admit though, I am sorry Square for using Espeon in our battle. I actually forgot to check your channel. I usually check the rules that the preferences that the people who challenge me have, but I kind of neglected to do that with you and didn't read your dislike of using Espeon in NU. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have used it. But anyway, that's a little spoiler for you all, but it's not really much of a spoiler because Espeon's the first one to come out anyway of my team. But anyway, why am I still talking? Let's just get straight into the battle. Here we go. I send out the Lanya, my Espeon, who Pyopa should know, and Getsugu comes out for XSquare. He switches to Hunter T straight away though, and I use Trick so that I can give the Flame Orb to Hunter T. I love burning things. Anyway, I use a Calm Mind to start boosting up so that I can hit that thing really hard, but then I see Toxic. Thankfully it misses, although I don't know why I was bothered about it. And I go straight for the Psychic this turn, fearing the Toxic again next turn. But again, I don't really know why I'm worried about it. Amazingly, the Hunter T survives, so I'm thinking it's a especially bulky one. But the Toxic hits this time, so now Lilanya's poisoned and Hunter T's burned. We're all with the status effects. Anyway, I bring out Lilanya for Blossom. A risky choice, but he sends out Getsuga, so it all works out anyway. He switches out while I decide to set up the Swords Dance, and he sends in Carbon Fibre, his Mawile. The Intimidate kind of screws this one over, but with a +1 boost to attack, Drain Punch is going to do a decent amount anyway, which it does. Probably does slightly over half, I believe. And he goes for Substitute anyway, so hey, once I've got that Substitute out the way, that Drain Punch is really going to nail that one. He goes for the Focus Punch this turn, so he's at least going to get a hit in with Mawile. It doesn't do that much actually. It does just over 100, which Leftovers recovers part of anyway. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Just gotta wait for this Mawile to go down. Come on, hurry up video. There's the Drain Punch that's gonna nail that Mawile. Goodbye, Carbon Fibre. That's one down for me. Hooray! Anyway, next he sends out his Flash Dash. And I kinda don't know why I left Blossom in. Yeah. That's gonna do quite a bit. Anyway, Blossom's down. So now I send out my Charizard. Yes, this is actually a Scarfed Charizard. And he sits in his Getsuga. I Air Slash. Unfortunately, it barely does a thing to Getsuga, so I switch Charizard out of there because it's Scarfed. And send in Ampharos. Ampharos can take hits pretty well. I think this one has got some special defense investment. Deals 100 damage total anyway, which is not really much for this Ampharos. 4-hit KO and probably a 5 with Leftover recovery, but he sends out Magnum, his Meganium, while I set up the light screen. I decide to leave Ampharos in for one more turn and he sets up a Leech Seed, so at least I'm not doing damage. And I use Heal Bell, so that's the poison recovery out of the way. That's the poison out of the way, which is why I said, why was I worrying about the Toxic earlier? Anyway, I switch out to It was interesting seeing XSquare's reaction when I sent out Glaceon. Anyway, he uses the Swagger and then switches out to Hunter T, and I decided to go for Icy Wind with anticipation of Flash Dash coming out, but he uses Hunter T as death fodder anyway, I assume. And that's Hunter T down, so that's toot for me! Anyway, he does send out Flash Dash this time, and I switch Glaceon out for Ampharos, hoping for the static hacks. Surprisingly went for double edge, I assume because he expected me to switch into Charizard, and there goes my light screen, oh well. And I don't get the static, and he switches out to Magnum, I assume fearing the static. And I used Thunderbolt. I wasn't expecting him to switch out actually, because I think, but then again no, the double edge probably wouldn't have 2-hit KO'd. Oh well. Anyway, he sets up another Leech Seed. I think, yes, I set up Light Screen this turn. And there we go, setting up again. I believe this turn I decided to switch out Ampharos, which you'll see in a moment. Getting ahead of myself again. I'm not used to narration. Yes, Ampharos comes out for Fearow, and he sets up the Leech Seed expecting the switch again. Wow. Talk about prediction. Anyway, this is actually the first time I've ever used a Fearow. He switches out Magnum and switches in Getsuga, and this is where Getsuga really bites the bullet here. I use U-turn, and it wipes out Getsuga. It wipes out his Lunatone. I assume because it's not that strong in defense-wise. I honestly don't know the stats of Lunatone, but I switch in Charizard after it goes down anyway, and he brings in Flash Dash. I was surprised to see that Rapidash is actually faster than Charizard. Obviously it's a scarfed Flash Dash, but I thought Charizard had a higher speed stat than Rapidash, and my Charizard actually has max speed as well, for a modest Charizard anyway. Anyway, he sends in his Grace Glace, and I switch in Ampharos, hoping that Ampharos would take the hit a bit better than it actually did. Unfortunately, it takes it down to 16 HP, and Light Screen was up as well, so that means it would have been a one-hit KO. Well, one-hit KO from its health, what health it had. Anyway, Ampharos goes down from the next Ice Beam, and I switch in Charizard so that I can actually use Flamethrower. Because, of course, my Charizard's scarfed. And it takes out Grace Glace in one hit, I believe. Yes, down it goes. See you later, Grace Glace. Oh, I'm so evil. In comes Magnum next, and I decided to use Flamethrower again. The battle's pretty much over. I believe this is his last Pokemon now. Surprisingly, it does not as much as I was expecting. I was expecting it to at least be in red, and he decides to Swagger me. I assume trying to stall out and make Charizard do damage to itself rather than to Magnum. I decided to switch out Charizard anyway and switch in Glaceon. He sets up the Leech Seed, which makes me think that he was trying to stall out Charizard. And I only kind of switched in Glaceon so that I could kind of be a bit evil to XSquare. I'm sorry, XSquare. I just seem to be an evil person of late. Anyway, Leaf Storm takes me down to 145, Glaceon survives easily, and Ice Beam will take that Magnum out with a critical hit. I don't think the critical hit mattered that much. It probably would have gone down. This is a max special attack Glaceon, and that's a victory for me. So, good game, XSquare. Thanks for battling me. Thanks for challenging me. It makes a change, actually. I rarely ever get challenges these days. Well, I rarely ever get challenges ever, to be fairly honest. But whatever. I hope you all have a happy new year anyway. I hope the past 7-8 days have been good to you. And I shall see you all in the next battle. Goodbye.